Right then, back after a little break, so we'll get cracking. We'll have to go back a bit, won't we? I've just put a few notes down. There's some stuff I'm going to talk about, some I'm not going to talk about because I've got a few things going in boxing and at the moment, and we don't really want to upset everybody by being brutal, because let's face it, I am brutal, aren't I? So I'm not going to be as brutal today. I'm just going to be ruthless instead. So here we go. Let's back up a few weeks. Tyson Fury press conference in Ireland. Billed as his press conference when he's on the undercard. What's happened to Tyson? I don't know. Obviously he was a great talent, but I think the layoff, the long layoff, I don't think has helped him, and he's got to take baby steps now, and I think that's reflected in the matchmaking that they're going to do for him now. I don't think his team should be running around saying that he's stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. And he's an happy camper, and you know that his trainer's going to be pound for pound best trainer in the world in a couple of years. We don't know, he might be. I doubt that, but let's not forget that Billy Joe Saunders' worst performance was under Ben Davidson, wasn't it? But he's a young kid, he's got time to learn. So good luck to him, good luck to Tyson. Tyson's ranked number 5 on BoxRec. He's just fought a guy ranked number 62. He now fights a guy ranked 140. So that to me is going from a guy at 62 to a guy at 140. What does that tell you? Well, what it tells you is that he's going backwards in his choice of opponents. They're calling out Wilder. He can fight Wilder now, he can fight Joshua now, he wants to fight Tony Bellew now. But yeah, they're fighting Francisco, whatever it's called, Pianetta, ranked 140. He's 35, 4-1. And he's just been beat by a guy who'd had 11 fights and done 30 rounds. His last win was against a guy who was 1-0. So they're putting him in with Tyson. He's probably a worse a fight than Sarifi. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to that opinion, and I want all the best for Tyson. But you know, I don't understand what's going on with him at the moment. You know, he's on Piers Morgan being Mr. Humble. The next minute he's on Instagram buying Rolls Royces for 300,000 quid. So you're buying a Rolls Royce for nearly 300 grand, but yet you missed a Humble month before. I just don't get it. He's way off world class. Will he ever get back to that level he was at when he was with Peter Fury? I don't know. I hope so. And I'm going to pray for Tyson. Petter Millas, 11-0 with 30 rounds, as I've just said. He beat Pianetta. Kevin Johnson knocked him out. And he's 38-year-old, and it was his first knockout in 5 years. Kevin Chubby Checker Johnson, who Anthony Joshua iced very quickly, and who Tyson took 12 rounds and schooled. Now he's just beat Pianetta, and he's fighting Tyson. So let's forget the Tyson of 3 years ago. Let's forget that, and let's look at him starting his career as at the beginning, because these fights are what you'd be giving somebody who's had 10 fights, aren't they? Millas, 11-0, has just beat Pianetta, so he's a novice, 11-0. They're building up it. Millas is going to be a contender, isn't he? So if he's fighting, if Millas is fighting Pianetta, he's going to be one of the future stars. That's where Tyson's career's at, probably like an 11-0 fighter. He's not. And we know he's 26 and all, but he's gone backwards in his, you know, his fitness and his skills, hasn't they? So he's like, he's way off. They are taking baby steps. Tyson's way off. No matter what they're telling you in the media, nobody's saying that he can't be world class again. We're not saying that. But look at the opponents he's going in with. You know, Tyson knows himself. He'll know what he's capable of. He'll know what he's capable of. I can assure you of that. He will know. But you know, that's boxing, isn't it? I mean, people, how can I explain it? People keep going on about, don't they, Pianetta, right? Fighting Vladimir and Chegayev, right? He fought Vladimir 5 years ago and got knocked out. 5 years ago. Tyson fought Vladimir nearly 3 years ago. 3 years ago, he fought Chegayev 3 years ago and lost to him as well. So 3 years is a long time in boxing, and 5 years people deteriorate. People in boxing deteriorate over 3 weeks. A fighter can balloon up in weight over 3 weeks and lose sharpness. So 3 years and 5 years ago, it's mega time. Look at Davy Day against Bellew, staggering around like a drunk. He had no strength in his legs, did he, or anything? You know, people were looking at the Davy Day in shape on Instagram and that. Well, but it's what's inside, isn't it? Yeah, he looked good against Chisora, but that was 5-6 years ago. No, you can't go on that. You know, all the fact that you know, people were saying he's stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. You know, Ben Davidson's done a bit best trainer. What? Who says so? Who says that? Who comes out with this? Because what's his CV suggesting? Ben Davidson's CV to me suggests Billy Joe Saunders' worst performance in Paisley and Tyson's circus act with that Sarifi. I don't want to see that. I want to see Tyson disappear off social media, and I want to see him come back a different fighter, in shape, fighting good guys. I don't want to hear all this talk about stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet, happy camper, and he could beat Joshua and Wilder now. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear it. I want to hear silence, and Frank Warren's got a lot on his hands, but I'm going to pray for Tyson and all his team. I won't pray for Frank Warren because I don't like him, but I'll pray for Tyson, and I'll pray for his dad John and the team. Right, second thing I want to bring up. Trainers. Myths or legends? Let's look at Dominic Ingle. Is it a myth or is it a legend? Well, his dad's a legend, isn't he, and a great trainer, so, but we're talking about Dominic, aren't we? And what Dominic's achieved. Now, he took Kell Brook on. When he got Kell Brook, Kell were British champion, 17-0, 13 by knockout. That's when Dominic took Kell Brook on. So he didn't have Kell from beginning, did he? Caldwell were training him from beginning. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what Dominic Ingle. I had him down as trainer at year last year. Billy Joe Saunders made him look fantastic, didn't he? But Billy Joe Saunders is an Olympian, British, Commonwealth, European and world champion, dropped on his lap. So he didn't really have to add much to Billy apart from fitness. So what else has Dominic achieved? Well, Brendan trained Junior Witter, didn't he? If you go and watch Junior Witter against Zeb Judah, Brendan's trainer, Dominic's cut man. So Dominic didn't have Junior front Witter from the beginning, did he? Brendan did. So who other world champions Dominic's had? He didn't train Nazim Ahmed, Brendan did. He didn't train Johnny Nelson, Brendan did. Dave Caldwell did all the work early doors with Kell Brook, didn't he, up to 17-0. So Dominic can lift big weights though. He's very strong. He can squat. Kid Galahad and Michelle Phelps on his back. He's that strong. And he's got a nutrition book coming out. So who am I to question Dominic Ingle? How dare I? But you know, I'm yet to see him do anything with somebody from the beginning. What happened to Richard Towers? He was trained by Brendan, then he went with Dominic. What happened there? What happened to Adam Etchits? Where's he now? I don't know. But I voted for Dominic for trainer at year. Because at Lemieux fight, so well done. Well done, Dom, on that. Billy Joe Saunders. What next for Billy Joe Saunders? I don't know, to be honest, what next for Billy Joe. Olympian, British, Commonwealth, European and World Champion, 3 year. His box rec number 5, Billy Joe Saunders, has been a world champion nearly 3 years. Was he 29-year-old? He's at a crossroads of his career. Now his best win's David Lemieux, a former champion. But that was 26 months after Triple G bashed him up. His other best win's Andy Lee, but he was really a 154 guy, wasn't he, that won a belt at 160. So I don't know really. I think Billy Joe Saunders, he needs that big fight, doesn't he? He's a talent, he's a southpaw, he's got all skills in the world. Might be a bit more dedicated under Dominic and looking fitter, but when's he going to fight Triple G? I don't think he'll fight on Andrade next. He's box rec number 6. He's similar age to Billy. Last year they were fighting at 154 though, Andrade, wasn't he? But Billy Joe calling Triple G out, and now it looks like Andrade. But will Frank Warren want to work with Eddie Earn, because he's just signed Andrade, so I don't think that fight will happen. I don't think it'll happen at all. I don't think Frank's going to want to help DAZN, is he? So unless it's mega money. I think Billy Joe Saunders' career is going like Joe Calzaghe's. You know, where for years they were waiting and waiting to fight Roy Jones and Hopkins. Then they got him in the 40s, didn't he? I think Billy Joe Saunders is going to wait while Triple G and Canelo are shot to bits. So I think his career is going to be the same as Calzaghe's, that WBO career. You know, like Tyson Fury did an interview, didn't he, with Coogan, and he said, they're British world champions, I call them. You know, the guys that Calzaghe were fighting. You know, they were world title fights, but really they were poor ones, weren't they? I mean, Calzaghe at 168 pounds, he had 22 title fights, but 6 were former champions and 2 were current champions. So who were the other 14? I think Billy Joe Saunders' career is going to go like that, isn't it, really? You know, he needs the big fights, but I don't think the fights are there, are they? Triple G and Canelo's tied up, aren't they? And I would have liked to see the Martin Murray fight, but it just didn't seem to happen, did it? But I wish Billy Joe Saunders well. I wish Billy Joe Saunders well. But what next for Tyson Fury though? What next for Tyson? I don't know. I don't know what next. I just don't know. I'd like to see Tyson fight Ortiz. Nobody wants to fight Luis Ortiz, do they? Southpaw. Do you remember when Luis Ortiz was signed by Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn signed Luis Ortiz, and everybody said they were going to make the fight with everybody's favourite weightlifter, didn't they? Anthony Joshua. But did they make the fight? They didn't, did they? They put him in with Dave Allen and Malik Scott, and then just sort of petered out, didn't it? Ortiz was WBA interim champion. When Scott Quigg was WBA interim champion, Eddie Hearn couldn't wait to move him up, could he, to regular champion? Why didn't he do that for Ortiz? Why didn't he do that when that WBA belt were free? Because he wanted that WBA belt thrown into the pot for Anthony Joshua, didn't he? That's what he wanted. When he fought Vladimir, he wanted an IBO. Well, they don't even call mandatories IBO, do they? I've even got that on an email off Ed Levine. What they do at IBO, they just piggyback onto guys who've got loads of belts, don't they? Like Triple G and Vladimir and Joshua, don't they? So harsh fact, but I'm speaking the truth, right? Let's screw that one up. Forward to Rocky Fielding in Germany. Rocky from Stockila. Is that Rocky from Stockila? Go on, Rocky. Big Rocky Fielding fan. I always felt that Eddie Hearn never had time for Rocky Fielding. I never liked that interview that Paul Smith said, when he were offered Rocky Fielding, and he said, I'm a level above Rocky Fielding. He's only one prize fighter. Well, Rocky Fielding's beat a guy that dropped Paul Smith in a world title fight. So well done, Rocky Fielding, WBA world champion, and he's got Carl Froch's former belt. So Rocky from Stocky, well done. I'd like to see him get some money earned now. Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis got it right. You know, Jamie Moore is my tip for Trainer of the Year. Last year I tipped Dominic Ingle and Shane McGuigan. This year I'm tipping Jamie Moore, and I think Nigel Travis deserves respect for all the miles that he travelled. He does a lot in boxing. Which brings me to, after saying what a great performance by Rocky from Stocky, well done Rocky Fielding. Well done. But I thought Paul Smith on Sky Pundit work and Darren Barker, I thought they hung him out to dry personally, saying that Zeus didn't look right, blah de blah. Everybody who beats Paul Smith, when he commentates on them or pundits on them, they're like world beaters, aren't they? You know, he had Kovalev losing massively to Ward in first fight, didn't he? Paul Smith. I saw them pictures on Twitter. Paul Smith's face, and it said, the face you make when you realise that a guy you said a level below you is not in your league when he's just won a WBA title against your former opponent. Twitter's a pretty brutal place, as I can testify. You have to watch what you say. There's people that are on Twitter who follow boxing, they run 10 accounts and they're just brutal. I wish I had the time to hammer them myself, but I haven't, so I just block people now. If you want to best them out with Porky on Twitter, you're getting blocked because I haven't got the time to deal with negative people. I'm that busy, and I'm having it off in all corners of life at the moment. Financially, emotionally, fitness wise, career wise, even new car I've just bought. I am really having it off proper. And even the friends that I've made, the people around me, I'm in a really good place. So all you people on Twitter, keep up the hate, because I've discovered a button and it's called block. And keep looking at that pig mask, because remember, it's called Porky's Corner. And all you haters who keep me stick, you're still listening to me, so I'm doing something right. Which brings me to the Adam Booth myth. Adam Booth. When people in boxing circles, and why, I don't know this, they talk about Adam Booth like he's some kind of guru, like he's, oh, send him to Adam Booth, he'll straighten him out. Adam Booth talks a good game, doesn't he? But let's look at the Adam Booth myth. He got George Groves. He was undefeated with George Groves, fair enough, but George Groves had beat the Olympic champion in the amateurs, and he was a world junior kickboxing champion as a 14-year-old. So George Groves could fight. You were knocking grown men out at kickboxing at 15, 14-year-olds. So by the time George Groves got to Adam Booth, we just needed polishing up. He was always going to be world class, wasn't he? David A were knocking out grown men when he was 16, long time before he got with Adam Booth. So, and Adam Booth will have known this because he were on the amateur scene. He'll have known all about David A. David A were famous before he turned pro. He was like a superstar in London on the amateur circuit. I know people like Carl Froch who sparred David A, and his hardest he's ever been hit. And you know, and I also know people who were at Crystal Palace watching David A on the pads and on the punch bags, and they were like in awe of him. You know, he used to beat up Audley Harrison, who was an Olympic gold medalist in sparring. He used to beat him up. You know, so. But who's Adam Booth got at the moment? Ryan Burnett and Josh Kelly. Well, they were top amateurs, weren't they? But you wouldn't pay to watch them, would you? You wouldn't pay to watch them. So, my opinion on Adam Booth, whenever a fighter's got problems, they all say go to Adam Booth. Well, Chris Eubank went to Adam Booth and Billy Joe Saunders did. They didn't last 2 minutes, did they, with Adam Booth, the guru, the Dark Lord. So, people need to get off the Adam Booth hype train. I want to talk about Gavin McDonnell. He's got his second world title shot. Obviously Steffi Bull took a phone call from Eddie Hearn, and now Steffi Bull's running around an area where I live saying, I got Adam Booth a title shot, I got Adam Booth a world title shot. Well, let me correct Steffi on that. He didn't. Eddie got him the shot. He just rung you, and then you rung Gav and said, Gav, do you want the fight? Gav said, yeah, that's it. That's how a world title shot's gone. It's a phone call. Steffi wouldn't have spoke to Roman's parents, you know, Danny Roman's team, and sort of the negotiations out. What would have happened is Eddie Hearn would have rung Steffi. Steffi, will Gav take this fight? It's the fight in abroad. Steffi would have said, yes please, because when Steffi Bull takes a phone call off Eddie Hearn, he says yes please, because I know people that have been in his company. He's like a nodding dog. Yes, yes Eddie, yes please. You know, like that programme Blockbusters, where when he says what letter do you want next, and they go number 2, yes please Bob. But it's like Blockbusters, isn't it? Yes please Eddie. Gav McDonnell's going out, he's fighting for a world title. Well, brilliant, I hope he wins. But Steffi Bull's a kiss ass with Eddie Hearn, we all know that, and I'll tell Steffi to his face if he's got a problem with that. Now, as regards Gav McDonnell, what about Josh Whale? Why don't Josh Whale get any world title shots or European title shots? You mind Steffi Bull replying on his troll account to my tweet? Come out and publicly state why Josh Whale's never been given a European title shot or a world title shot, because he had a draw with Gav McDonnell. He's the British champion. You know, he's got a great CV, Josh Whale. Nobody's give Josh Whale anything, have they? So Steffi Bull needs to start, you know, making Josh Whale creating some opportunities for him, instead of throwing people under a bus to Eddie Hearn. Do you know what I mean? Who were in charge of Dave Allen when he fought Ortiz? Who Who were in charge of Dave Allen when he fought Dillian White? I think Steffi were in charge of him when he had Dillian White. I don't think he were when he had Ortiz. But these managers, they don't go out and create these opportunities. They take a phone call from a promoter, a powerful promoter like Eddie Hearn, who people say, yes please Eddie. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody says no to Eddie Hearn. No, he's got that much power. Eddie rings, people say yes please. That's what happens. So, hey up Gav, it's Steffi, I've got you a world title shot. No, Eddie Hearn got the title shot. He just rung you and asked you to put it to Gav, the fee and all that, and to get back to me if there were any problems. And trust me, it would have been yes please. So, but Gav, I want him to win. He's from Donny, so good luck. But I'm just saying it as I see it. Stop running around Doncaster, Steffi, saying you got Gav McDonnell another world title shot. No, Eddie Hearn got him the world title shot. So, I want to talk about people who keep saying that the greatest fighter not to win a world title is Errol Bomber Graham. No, I don't go along with that. Ryan Rhodes is the greatest title not to win a world title. Ryan Spice Boy Rhodes, who fought at the wrong weight for years and were thrown in way too early with Uriah Grant at middleweight. A massive punching middleweight. Ryan's a light middleweight. Ryan Rhodes, if he were around today, he'd be a multi-soulfly swimming in Chochai, multi-millionaire. So, I want to talk about trainers who don't get a chance. Trainers that do not get a chance in Doncaster, South Yorkshire and surrounding areas. Now, all the trainers in South Yorkshire, there's loads of them, but the ones that I know are Glyn Rhodes, Chris Smedley and Mick Whale. Mick Whale trains Josh Whale, doesn't he? Chris Smedley trains Liam Cameron. Glyn Rhodes trains Sam Sheedy, Tommy Frank, doesn't he? Now those three good trainers, but anybody in South Yorkshire knows that if you want to get to Eddie Hearn, you've got to go through Dominic Ingle and Dave Caldwell. So they get the fighters, don't they? Dominic gets Liam Williams dropped on his lap. You know, because Liam knows he can stay in with Frank Warren, and Dominic probably get an Eddie Hearn fight, or might get a Kell Brook fight, or you know, a Liam Smith fight again. You go with Dominic Ingle, you're going to get chances. You've got connections to powerful promoters. Caldwell's got a connection to Eddie Hearn, but Caldwell also knows if he falls out with Eddie Hearn, he'll never be able to work with Frank Warren, will he? Because he'll probably not get paid or he'll get messed about. So Caldwell has to kiss arse, doesn't he? Dave Caldwell is a kiss arse. A little kiss arse to Eddie Hearn. Now the McDonnell brothers and the Tony Bellew, they know David Price thought as well. And he nearly pulled it off. You get to Dave Caldwell, you get to Eddie Hearn. That's how they looked at it, that's where the money is. Who's Dave Caldwell had from the beginning who's won a belt? Kell Brook, he won a British title, that's it. That's his career. These guys get fighters that are already finished article. Bellew finished article. You know, he never had McDonald's from debut, did he? So fighters tend to go with a trainer that's associated with a promoter, or who can get him to the promoter, like the Gallagher. Gallagher's got a lot of fighters because they know he's got connection to promoters. He don't make them great trainers. Jamie Moore, he's a great trainer. He's starting to make a name for himself, but he's done it. He's done it with from beginning, hasn't he? Fighters are going to him, so good luck to Jamie Moore. He's learnt off a great trainer in Oliver Harrison, who I believe Amir Khan got rid of when he were undefeated.